With the improved effectiveness, or let's be real, over effectiveness sometimes of paint defense in NBA 2K22, we as gamers got to come correct this year or we might get embarrassed. So with this video, I'm going to show you some of the more effective moves we have at our disposal, how to do them, and 3 tips to help make you an overall better attacker in NBA 2K22 on current and next gen consoles. So alright, let's get it. First off, as far as your settings go, you want to go into features, then down to controller settings, and scroll down to shot timing. This lets you set how you want to make your layups. If it's set to shots only, your layups will be based on attributes and your overall shot selection, which is what I suggest you leave this on. If you switch it to layups only, nailing the timing meter is key for you to have success in the paint, but your jump shots will be determined by your attributes and shot quality. Real player percentage will cause your layups and shots to be determined strictly by the player's ratings, and shots and layups will force you to make your jumpers and layups with a meter. But again, personally, I would leave this on shots only to eliminate the stress of trying to nail layups with the meter, but those are the 4 options for you. And also, scrolling down to the pro stick function setting, if you set this to dribble moves, you won't be able to do any right stick dunks or any finishes really. If you set it to shots, you won't be able to perform any dribble moves with the right stick. And if you like to perform dribble moves and right stick finishes, I would suggest putting this on default. Now, as far as the different moves you're able to do, we'll start with the basics and the normal layup. To perform this, there are 2 ways. The easier way is to hold square or X if you're on Xbox, or hold the right stick up with the ball handler when you're near the hoop, and he'll go straight up with the shot. You want to utilize this most of the time when you're wide open, but some players' layup packages will allow them to avoid heavy contested layups when you go up like this. Otherwise, you want to stay away from going straight up with the normal layup if a defender is parked in the paint or a defender is right on your hip. And if you don't want to go straight up with your shot or want to act like you're going to, you tap the shoot button on your controller to perform a pump fake, and the direction you're going will be where he fakes. To transition into a dunk without the pro stick, you simply hold the right trigger and hold the shoot button on your controller whether you're on the move or standing near the rim. Next up, we got runners and floaters, which are a lot better this year, and you want to perform this move right when you get inside of the free throw line. This quick shot is a great counter if you're not a Giannis Zion type against centers who are straight chilling in the paint waiting to punch your shot. And to do this, you want to aim the right stick straight down while driving. And because this isn't a layup type of shot, according to Mike Wang, your effectiveness at runners and floaters is directly tied to your close shot rating. Like for instance, Trae Young's close shot rating is a 95. Now let's go over the reverse layup. You want to use this move to avoid getting your shot blocked by defenders on the side of the rim you're driving from by using the rim to block their path. And it warps you out the other side no matter who's in the paint, so that helps. And to do a reverse layup, you flick the right stick towards your back depending on the side of the court you are on, right when you're about halfway towards the paint. So if you're driving from the left, aim the right stick towards your left. And if you're driving from the right, aim the right stick right. Now the way better reverse dunk. You apply the same right stick actions as the reverse layup while holding the right trigger. Now obviously not every player can reverse dunk. If you attempt one and they still lay it up, they probably aren't able to do it. But those who can have a huge advantage driving baseline. Next we got the Euro step, and to activate it you either while letting go of turbo double tap the shoot button while driving with the left stick aimed directly towards your off ball hand. Or what I prefer, again, while not holding turbo, hold the right stick down and to the left or right of your non-ball hand while driving. If done right, your ball handler will fake the defender towards his ball hand side, then bring the ball back the other way. You want to utilize this move to get yourself through traffic into unoccupied space near the rim. This can also be a way to throw the timing of trailing defenders off when they expect you to go straight up with the shot as well. Or even a sneaky move you can pull out of your bag with big men attacking the hoop. As for the cradle layup, this you want to use when you're about to drive into traffic and have defenders around the perimeter looking to jump in and steal the ball. And to perform it, you double tap square or X on your controller while driving and with the left stick aimed towards your ball hand. Or you aim the right stick down and to the left or down and to the right of your ball hand side. So the Euro step and cradle layup using the right stick, you're just aiming it to different sides. If the ball is in your right hand, if you want a Euro step, aim the right stick down and to the left. If you want a cradle, aim the right stick down and to the right. So when you do a cradle layup, you cradle the ball through traffic and go for a shot. You want to utilize this more so with strong finishers to bully their way to the hoop. If a big is already parked in the paint, you want to stay away from this move, as it will then be easier to time a block, and we don't want to make it any easier to get your shot punched in this game than it already is. Next, let's go over the different type of gathers you can do, and the first one I'm going to go over is the hop gather. And to achieve this, you hold the right trigger and hold the right stick down and to the left or down and to the right. And where you aim tells the game where you want to hop to, and the side you pick to hop towards is whichever side of the paint is clear, to hopefully get up a clean shot. So it's the same function as the Cradle Layup, but you're also holding turbo this time. You can also tap the shoot button while driving while aiming the left stick towards the left or right, which again is you telling the game where you want to hop to. Hop step is a great move because it creates space for you in traffic if there is available space to be had, and also can collapse the defense and allow you to kick out to an open shooter. And another advantage of using it is you don't automatically go for a shot when you attempt it. Now, if you notice your hop step gets you free, you can continue the animation and go straight up by hitting the shoot button again, or continuing to hold the right stick throughout the whole animation. Where it is kind of tricky to do if you hold the right stick down and to the left or right the whole time. He will attempt to dunk if he's close enough, and if you let go of turbo before he jumps, he will go for a layup. This takes practice to get the timing down and not force yourself into a type of shot you don't want with the stick. And you can also cancel yourself going straight up by letting go of the right stick or button before he goes up with the shot. Now, you must know when a hop step isn't an option for you as well. It's when there's a defender already in the paint or when a defender is riding your hip. So you only want to bust it out most of the time when you have clearly beaten a defender to the rim or the closest defender to the rim isn't directly under it, as the hop step can weave you through traffic into the paint, past the defender while throwing the angle and timing of the shot blocker all off. Next, we got the spin gather, which the way easier method of doing it is holding the right trigger and double tapping the shoot button. Or you have the more difficult way of rotating the right stick from your ball hand around the bottom to your off ball hand. Now, to continue into your shot when activating the spin gather with the button, you hold the extra square button again after the second tap, and you let go after the second tap to avoid going up with the shot. And with the right stick, you hold the right stick the whole way while performing the spin to immediately go up with the shot. The spin gather's goal is to beat overly aggressive defenders for a spin closer to the hoop when they try and cut off your initial path. And this is just like a Euro step where it gives you time to react to what the defense does in response to you using this move, so you're not forced to go up with the ball. The speed and distance you can cover on this move has allowed it to be one of my favorites so far this year. Now let's go over dunking. First, we got the two-hand dunk, which you trigger by holding the right trigger and then aiming the right stick up. Most two-hand dunk animations will start closer to the rim, so be aware that you want to trigger these as soon as you get inside the free throw line. Next, we got the left and right-handed dunks. Make a note that dunking with your dominant or offhand will allow you to start to dunk further away from the hoop and keeps the ball away from the defender depending on where they're at. And you activate it by holding the right trigger and aiming the right stick up and to the left if you want to dunk with your left hand, and up and to the right if you want to dunk with your right. Players will also take off a lot faster depending on if they're dunking with their left or right hand, so make note of that as well in practice mode. Now let's talk about transitioning from gathers to dunks. In 2K19, we were given the ability to transition from gathers into different finishes, with one of them being dunks. And you can do this by holding the right trigger after activating any of the different gathers I have gone over, and continue to hold it throughout the move, and your player will transition into a dunk attempt if he's close enough to the rim. Now, something I secretly love taking advantage of is the aggressive layup finish, which you do by holding the right stick directly towards the hoop. The player will attempt a more aggressive finish at the rim and be more likely to get fouled doing so. So playing with guys who have high draw foul ratings could present a huge advantage using this. Now let's go over ways to improve your attacking that are not move based. First off, try your best to maintain spacing on offense, folks. An easy suggestion is find a free lane you like or play, and play within it as much as possible, whether it's 5 out, 4 out, or whatever your favorite play is. Just try to avoid running into your other players and have their player block your path or steal the ball from you. You want to give yourself optimal space to work with in 5-on-5 moves. Also, try to hold off on using sprint until it's absolutely necessary. When you're not sprinting, it doesn't mean you're not going fast. It just means you're giving yourself more time to see what the defense is showing you. Somebody can be open that you would otherwise ignore if you're sprinting, and when you see it's time to strike, act accordingly. And lastly, take advantage of the space the big could give you in the mid-range off the pick and roll. I've gone over this briefly in the video, but it's never been a better time to make bigs pay for this. Please, y'all, don't drive all crazy trying to dunk on them. I mean, you can still do that, but it's not as effective this year. You got to get your Chris Paul on sometime. If they're parked directly under the hoop, don't be afraid to hit them with the midi. And with that, I hope this video was able to help you guys out new to the 2K series, or those who are struggling in the paint and want defenders to stop punching their shot relentlessly. And if you liked the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon at the bottom so you don't miss anything we put out. Alright people, I'm Chris. Thank you all for watching, and be good, y'all.